Like this or like that?
However feels comfortable.
Oh, doesn't matter.
Right, cool. Ready?
Yeah.
Cool. Hi guys, how we doing? You alright? Just doing an exciting interview with Desiree here in Las Vegas on the back of Mr Olympia. For those of you who don't know, Desiree is my coach and has been my coach for about 2 years now. People from Iron Eden, you guys will know who Desiree is because I talk about what me and Desiree are doing quite regularly. So Desiree, if you just want to tell us a bit about your bodybuilding history, because by the way, Desiree is bodybuilding royalty, okay? Meaning she's very, very high quality.
Okay, yeah, my name is Desiree. I started training since 1991, so as the most women, just to lose weight. But I did see that after several years and I thought, yeah, I want to build muscle. So since 1994, I started competitions to do, and I loved it. And I became over 23 years in the industry now. And I stopped at 2018. My titles I would love the most was Miss Universe in 2005 in Birmingham. And then I came Miss World in 2013. And I loved the title Miss Body Extreme. For there I became a pro card. And I did have several times the title Miss Holland.
Absolutely insane. Like we said, really decorated bodybuilding legend. It's worth saying that Desiree competes within the female bodybuilding category. So there's a lot of changes that we can put over from female bodybuilding into male bodybuilding. So Desiree's been coaching since when? How long have you been coaching for?
I started in 2005 to build a little bit up, not as a pro for earning my money, but just as the passion, giving through to the athletes who are really interested to become further in the sport.
So we're talking best part of 19 years coaching.
Yeah.
Awesome. So obviously Desiree started coaching me after I met Desiree at the Battle of Den Helder in 2021, where we spoke at length after the show and then spoke out online afterwards to sort of build that coach-client relationship. So when we've been looking at it, we've been looking at what areas I need to improve on, what areas we can look at to sort of bring my physique up. And when we're looking at that, it's looking at how the plan might change between men and women when it comes to sort of bodybuilding prep, bodybuilding coaching. And I think you agree that there's not really much difference in the sense of the style of training per athlete as in male or female, but more by the different body types.
Yeah. You have the 3 body types, ectomorph, mesomorph and endomorph, and that is the biggest difference. The little accent for difference is of course the calories between men and women are always different, and the women mostly want to train more the lower part.
The glutes, the hammies,
yeah,
building that peach. Excellent. And obviously for men, certainly within the men's classic physique division, which is what I compete in, it's looking very much at sort of an X-frame, big shoulders, waist going in and then legs going back out and the quads sweeping round.
Yeah.
And that's something we've been working on quite a bit. But before we go into sort of what the plans are moving forward, it's looking at more about Desiree. So it's more like what does Desiree enjoy about coaching the most? So what do you enjoy? What do you enjoy about coaching?
I enjoy about coaching, giving my passion through to athletes and make the best version of themselves. And yeah, that gives me also a satisfied feeling when the coach of the athlete is following the plan and the transformation is coming who we would like to happen.
It really shows when we talk about bodybuilding, the passion you have for the sport. It shows massively.
Yeah.
And I think as a fellow coach, obviously I don't do as much bodybuilding coaching, I'm more lifestyle coaching. But for any coach, if we're in it for the money, we wouldn't be doing it. It's got to be that passion, that drive to want to help see people improve. We've done another podcast about setting plans and about finding your reason why you want to train, why you want to do that. But certainly as coaches, there's nothing more thrilling for us to see our clients and athletes achieve their goals.
Yeah.
And be happy within themselves. So that's a really cool thing about it. We get to see that and see people sort of develop and sort of mature into a new athlete or a new style of trainer or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So obviously we've been together now for 2.5 years?
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years. So what do you think's been the hardest thing about the dynamic of our coaching as working together?
Yeah, the hardest part is in about two things. One is I do it online and coach you online.
Online, yeah.
So it's always a little bit difficult to see the whole shape, and you can't see each other every day or every week to make a real checkup.
And that's really important, certainly when we're getting closer into prep, getting closer to stage time. The body's changing hourly, minutely. Every minute it's changing. You do photos in the morning, you have a meal, you do another photos, and you change instantly. So it is definitely harder online. I think in today's modern world, online coaching seems to have taken over face-to-face coaching, but nothing really beats being face-to-face, does it? Actually being able to see the changes, and not just that, when you're looking at in bodybuilding, you're looking at the density of the muscle, the hardness of the muscle. You can't see that in photos. You can only see that by feeling, touching, to actually understand whether that person's where we need them to be or not. So yeah, we're going well though. We've done really well. So since me and Desiree have been working together, I've been lucky enough to win the Open Classic Physique at Battle of Bedford in 2023, and then go back over to Den Helder and take the Open Classic and the overall Classic Physique title and London 90s bodybuilding title. So far we're doing all right, aren't we? We're doing all right. But next year, the plan doesn't stop now. We're not just saying, right, okay, we're happy with where we've got to, let's just see how it goes. Next year is going to be massive, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to say too much right now about what the final plan for next year is, because I want to leave some things for excitement, for other videos and things like that. But we will be going to compete next year. We will be starting prep April, May time next year. If it all goes well, and we'll look, as long as the off season goes all right, and we get the weight up a little bit more. But yeah, so the plan next year, I mean, is the plan going to be, do you think we're going to be different to what we did in 2023 with the prep? Or do you think the prep's going to be fairly similar? I know it's hard to say, we can't say exactly how it's going to be now.
It's hard to say, but regular, I think it will be different. It will be, for example, higher in calories. Because
that's always a good thing, more food.
Tim is always stays very difficult on weight, and it's very difficult for him to grow very fast. But he is a man for follow the plan, so his progress is keep on going. Keep
getting bigger, getting stronger, getting that muscle. People talk about muscle maturity, don't they, when it comes to bodybuilding? So I've been competing since 2019. It seems like a long time ago. We've had lockdown in the middle of that, so actually in the bodybuilding career, I'm very immature still compared to the guys that started competing. So I started competing at 32 years old. Some of the guys that we're going to be coming up against next year are going to be competing for the last 15 years, potentially more longer. So we've got to try and build that muscle maturity and density in quite a small period of time. But it's going to be exciting, isn't it?
It's going to be exciting. A big challenge. I think a little afraid both for can we get there, but we will go for it.
We certainly will.
If we keep in mind we will do it, we will get there.
Absolutely. And I think sometimes to have a little bit of anxiety around it, a little bit of nervousness isn't a bad thing. Going into something too confident, which is we've seen this weekend at the Mr Olympia, the Full Olympia, we saw some people come out too confident.
Yeah.
So a little bit of sort of nervous energy, I think, is healthy within the sport to make sure we bring our best.
Yeah.
But that's enough about sort of me and Desiree and our plans. Like I said, there will be something else going out probably in the new year about what our plans are for next year. For right now, though, we're keeping them quite close to our chest. Only the people closest to us know, i.e. my wife Laura, Desiree, and our travel companion Diana, who's behind us. They're the only people that know so far. So it's very, very new. We sat and discussed it over this weekend. But why are we in Vegas, Desiree? Why are we here?
Why we were here? Yeah, we were here because of the excitement and the experience of seeing the Olympia full, not only for the big ones, but for all the classes, of course. And the
Olympia 2024. Not any old Olympia, we might add. Desiree's got the gold t-shirt, I've got black and gold t-shirt on. It's the 60th anniversary of the Olympia, and we were lucky enough to secure VIP tickets so we could meet the athletes, so we could meet, go backstage, not backstage, but go into like a behind the scenes of how they create the Olympia. We managed to get priority seating. We managed to watch the pre-judging.
Yeah.
I think any normal person would be bodybuilded out by now, but I'm not. But I mean, I'm going to go first because I'm excited to say my favourite part of this weekend, or not favourite part, but something that's going to stick with me forever, was meeting Chris Bumstead.
Yeah.
I came 2 years ago to Vegas for Olympia, and his queue was so long that I decided, no, I'm going to meet every bodybuilder that I want to see instead. This year, something was telling me right from March this year that it's going to be C-Bum's last Olympia. So I queued up for 2.5 hours, maybe looks like longer than 2.5 hours to meet him. But I will put a photo of C-Bum just here, me and C-Bum together. Laura will edit this video nicely for me, and she'll put a picture of me and C-Bum just to the left of my shoulder there. Who's your favourite athlete to meet?
Yeah, of course, I'm a female bodybuilder, so the most favorite is Andrea Shaw, who became Mr Olympia again.
Is that 5 for her now?
Yeah, I thought so, yeah.
5 Olympias for Miss Olympia, should we say?
Miss Olympia, yeah.
I've been really blessed that we've managed to have such a great weekend and watching all the bodybuilding, the pre-judging. So Desiree, what was your favourite? What was the favourite? Who was it who impressed you the most? Which bodybuilder? Any category? Who was it?
The open bodybuilder Samson. Because of his speaking out of his heart and showing the emotion he has for the fans and the sport.
So in bodybuilding, when they do Olympia, they do a press conference the day before or 2 days before, and it's basically you don't take your shirt off, you don't show people what you've got. It's all very much nice. Yeah, we're just going to go out there and do our best. Samson came out and showed the complete passion, took his shirt off and challenged anyone to join him, and not one person did. That's awesome that Samson won. Anyone else?
Yeah, Ryan Terry became, I think,
two-time Mr Olympia men's
physique.
And Ryan is probably one of the most down-to-earth people you can meet. I've met him a few times, lucky enough to meet him a few times now. But yeah, and the passion he's got for the sport. This is his 10th year in the row at the Olympia.
Yeah.
10 years in a row, no break, all the way through. And you've got one more name written down there again, who you said earlier, obviously of Andrea Shaw winning her 5th Miss Olympia title, which is awesome. So for me, C-Bum winning and C-Bum retiring after winning, it wasn't a shock that he's retired, but to see him win his 6th Olympia in a row over an 8-year career is just...
And then the figure lady.
The figure lady, I can't remember what her name is.
Yeah, no, what's the name of the figure lady?
Sydney.
Sydney winning number 8.
Number 8, yeah.
So she won figure.
Figure.
Yeah.
She retired also.
And she retired also.
Yeah.
I think for me, one of the shocks was what I'm so pleased for Samson for winning, but I think when we talked earlier about some people being overconfident, Derek Lunsford, who won Mr Olympia last year, came in and it was almost like he felt he'd won it already, a little bit to me.
Yeah.
And I get you've got to be confident, you've got to have that arrogance when you're in top level sport. You need to have that. You look at the greats in all sports: Cristiano Ronaldo, Lewis Hamilton in Formula One, Roger Federer when he was on the court in tennis. They all had that air of arrogance when they're competing, but then when they come off the stage or off their sport, really down to earth. So for Derek to be so confident when Samson has done so well at the Arnolds this year, coming second twice, only missing out to Hadi Choopan.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit gutted for Hadi Choopan because he's been a favourite of mine for years, but I'm buzzing for if there's anyone to beat Hadi, I'm glad that it was Samson.
And Samson did get also the public prize.
Yeah, he got the People's Champ. So on final night at the Olympia, the audience and I think the people watching at home, because they streamed it, you can vote for who you wanted to be the champion, and they get like a special like a boxer's belt, and it's like called the People's Champion, Mr Olympia.
Yeah.
So Samson not only won the Open, but he's also clearly very much a fan favourite, which is awesome. But over the whole weekend, the thing that impressed me was the judging, really, because not that I'm a professional judge by any means, but we sort of discussed at length at the end of every pre-judging, at the end of every sort of comparison around who we thought was going to win, and we were pretty much right along the ball, which meant that the judges were probably pretty bang on. Well, they were bang on, and we were lucky to guess right. I don't know, but
I was only surprised by the bikini class with the second place, the lady.
Yeah.
I thought she would be first, but for the rest, it was very good judging.
It was really good judging, and I think again, I'm loving the fact that Ryan Taylor's got his second Olympia title as well. Couldn't happen for a nicer guy, really. Just trying to think, is there anything else that sort of really shocked me very much? I don't think so.
No. No massive shocks.
But once again, Olympia put on an absolutely impeccable show, other than some of the timings. But hey, it's a massive organisation. How you meant to get like 2,500 people into a theatre like that? It's not easy to do. Dan Solomon has come out and done a great job. He spoke about what their plans are moving forward. They've been given the key to Vegas. So if you don't know what that means, it's basically a high accolade to say that you've been accepted into Vegas as one of the main entertainment companies, which is amazing. And it looks like potentially it's going back to Vegas next year.
Yeah, it looks like.
And then I think one last thing about about Chris Bumstead before we sort of sign off. Chris is retired with 24.6 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
Most of which probably aren't bodybuilding fans.
Yeah.
He's really brought the sport up, and by retiring, we thought, oh, that's going to be the last we see of him. But he said in a press conference the next day that he's going nowhere. He's still going to be a big part of the Olympia setup, and he's going to be putting his own money in his back, his own hand in his back pocket, and to increase the prize fund for the classic physique division, which is absolutely insane. So he's putting his own money in, so the classic physique guys start to get more money, which I think is amazing when you think the winner of the Open category, Samson, $600,000. The winner of Classic Physique, $60,000 this year. So the fact that Chris has put his hand in his own pocket to do that just shows how much love he's got for the sport. And we wish him all the best on his future within the Olympia. But I think that's pretty much everything here for now.
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. So I'd like to thank Desiree for joining me on this, because I know that she said to me beforehand I don't like talking out loud. Well, I think you'll all agree that she's done a cracking job. So thank you very much, Desiree.
You're welcome.
And thank you for an amazing trip. And Diana as well. Thank you for an amazing trip to Vegas for the Olympia. But for now, guys, see you later. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Nice.